Okay.
So it's been, dude, honestly, I can't. It's strange that we haven't hung out since the last podcast.
It really is.
We've just been so super busy between work and my vacation. It was wild.
It feels like you were on vacation for like 3 months. So
Well, I went to Nashville for a weekend with my brothers, and then the following week we went somewhere. I don't remember where, or we did something, and then we went for our 10-day anniversary trip. So it's been a hot
so
minute.
it was 10 days. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was great. I only had to spend 5 days of vacation. I got 10 days off. It was sick.
You were forced to take vacation.
I mean, yes, we don't have to get back into that.
Minor
but,
details.
I mean, now that it is over, I'm glad I did it because
You
I did
enjoyed
have
it.
a lot of fun.
That's good. That's good.
What's been going on, man? Let's catch up.
you know.
Let's do some catch up and mustard before
Just,
we get into the toppies.
Just working. Like I drive a lot. I drive all day, like multiple hours, like 4 or 5 hours a day of just driving.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's it. Working. I've been playing music again. I bought a new bass, a new guitar processor,
A new shiny boy.
and just trying to get back into the fun stuff. You know?
That's fair.
really
We're pretty
it.
boring. We don't really do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
We just do like average white dude stuff.
Used to be a lot more exciting, you know, in the 20s. We say that, but like I still did the same stuff.
Yeah, but like now, it's all you do. You used to do a
fair.
lot more. Well, we all used to do a lot more when we were younger. Didn't have so many responsibilities. Now it's like, well, I have to do all of my chores and go to work, and then I have some time to do my things.
Yeah, it used to be like, oh, I have today off. I have the whole day to do whatever I want.
Yep.
But now it's like, I have today off. All right, cool. I got to do laundry.
Do laundry for 2 hours and do the dishes for an hour. Yep.
And then I'm going to cut the whole yard.
Yep.
Take a shower.
And now I've got 2 hours to do whatever I want,
And then I'm going to go to bed. Like,
says the dad.
yeah, that's life. But yeah, so I felt bad that I have not contributed a lot podcast topic wise.
Oh.
Taylor had a really good idea.
Ooh, lay it on me.
So this is hers. This is not mine. But I feel like
I'm interested to know
she-
TK's thoughts.
I feel like she's on to something.
What does that
So
mean?
because of you doing motocross
Mm-hmm.
and me being a clumsy giant,
Okay.
we've both had our fair share of injuries and surgeries.
Oh yeah, significant amounts.
What all have you been through, especially from motocross? Because that's you're driving fast and doing a lot of turns and jumps and stuff on a motorized vehicle with no walls.
No, yeah, no protection. No. So let's just be very clear. I was not good at it. I mean, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not by any means the shot pro. I've never been paid. But it was, yeah. I mean, I didn't play baseball in high school. I didn't play football. My dad, kind of raised me riding dirt bikes. So I mean, where do I even start? 7 broke my ankles.
Wait, at the same time or just?
Yeah, well, that wasn't a motocross related incident. I just jumped off 6 stairs at my grandma's house and broke both my ankles. So great start there. And then I went on to operate. Bless you, I think.
Bless you.
For those listening on Spotify, the dog
The
sneezed.
dog is just sneezing and putting his head in a trash can right now. So
Then I broke my wrist when I was 13.
doing what?
Sled riding at Mill Creek Park. Super Bowl Sunday. The older high school kids were building a cool ramp, and I was like, ooh, I'm like not older as old as them, and I want to impress the high school kids. I'm gonna go hit their ramp, and then I landed on my head and broke my wrist, and so that was the end of that. Then I had to watch. My dad had to watch the first half of the Super Bowl in in the ER with me, so that was fun. Also, speaking of my dad, he tweeted at me, "Sassafras is good," and somehow I didn't get the notification for whatever reason. So, what up, OGB? Old grumpy bastard.
Sassafras is
That's my
good.
dad.
Wow.
Let's see. Then I broke my wrist again. I have broken my left shoulder blade, my scapula.
How do you break a shoulder blade?
You hit the ground really hard on your back.
Oh,
But not like flat back, but like kind of like shoulder first back. and just all that transfer of motion takes that big plate and just kind of cracks it in half, and it was not fun. I fractured my tailbone when I landed on my butt, very, very hard. It was January, and the ground was frozen. Dude,
this dog is
get
just
out of the trash can.
I think there's
Bro,
like nothing in there.
We are trying to conduct business
This
here.
is the first time we're on video too, and you're just being a nuisance. Go
All
lay
right.
down.
What did I say? Oh, I fractured my tailbone.
Yeah.
I've cracked my elbow once. I've done a couple ribs. Let's see. I mean, I have sadly more concussions than I can remember, which is a sign of more concussions than I should have had.
Motocross or various?
I have never been in a car accident. Knock on wood. Sorry for the table knock. I have not been in a car accident. So yeah, all my concussions are strictly dirt bike related incidents. I mean, I've knocked myself out a couple times and like woke up in the car, or hit the ground and then like woke up and there's people standing over me. So yeah, a couple times I've been out, which is not good. But
No.
and then. One time I was in the ER. This is a really crazy story. One time I was in the ER, and I'm laying there, and they're doing all their checks on me to make sure I'm good. My mom's chilling there, and they've got me one of those neck braces, so like you can't move.
Oh, yeah,
they're doing like the
stabilized.
check, make
Yeah.
sure like your neck's not jacked, and you're, they make you wiggle your toes, make sure you're not paralyzed and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm laying there, and I'm in this brace and staring at the ceiling, and across the hall, I assume to be a family, and I can hear a small child and what I assume to be the husband sitting in a seat, and you can hear like the beep, beep of the heart monitor,
Right.
and you hear the kid be like, "Mom, Mom, what are you doing?" And then like the panic in the voice sets in, and you're like, I mean, I'm laying there staring at the ceiling, like I can't see what's going on, and my mom's like, "Oh, this doesn't sound good," and you hear the heart rate monitor go up, and you hear beep, 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 and this kid's like, "Yo, Mom," like freaking out, and then the lady flatlined, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm listening to this woman die." It was such a wild revelation at like 15. It was insane.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, tons of concussions, lots of broken bones. I mean, my ankles have. I mean, that's also part of my bilateral clubfoot birth defect that I was born with. So those things have just been jacked up since day one, unmotocross related. But yeah, dirt bikes are really cool until they're not cool, and then
Yeah. It's like most things.
yeah, it's cool until it's not cool. I wouldn't trade it. I mean, I don't know. I lived a really fun high school life when I was at
Yeah.
the track every weekend. And,
You got a lot of friends from that too.
Yeah, I mean, some of my closest friends I've known for 15 plus years that I met at the track. I mean,
Yeah.
Nate was my best man. I mean, Matt, and Nate were in my wedding, and and like right after I got out of racing, went to college, and then that's when like we met in history class.
Yeah.
We've been friends since 09?
09.
What's math? 14 years on that?
14 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, math. Yeah.
What about you? So what's I mean, yeah, all
Well,
your
there's-
super crazy
so-
giant stories.
So wait, there was one more
Ooh, yeah.
that I remember specifically being part of.
Oh, the ripstick story. Is this where we're going with this?
Yeah, I want to hear this one
boy.
again. This
Yeah.
is one of my favorite stories, and
You were
I
involved.
was involved.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we went to school at Kent and saw all these cool kids riding their bikes and their skateboards around campus, and I was like, man, there's got to be an easier way to get from point A to point B. I don't know how to longboard, and I don't own a car big enough to transport a bike because I was driving a Chevy Cobalt in college, and I don't have a bicycle. So I was like, ooh, but I do have a ripstick, and I can scoot around on a ripstick pretty well. So you know what? Let's send it. Without even testing this out, like around campus, like one, can the sidewalks? Can you operate a ripstick on the sidewalk correctly? Two, like, is there enough room for you to maneuver without hitting another human being?
Right.
And then three, what is your plan in case it goes south?
Is this a good idea?
None of those questions were tested or answered before I just decided to full send it down the hill right there at, was that the music building? Or I don't even remember. Maybe it was the architecture building. But, dude, one day I was on my way to photo class and I was like, got my ripstick. I've got a project to turn in. I'm going to be efficient AF today. I climbed on that bitch and I sent it down that hill. I made the hill. Let's be extraordinarily clear. I went from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, did not crash, did not hit a human being. It was the stopping process that threw everything right out the window. Made it to the bottom of the hill, transitioned, rode away, somehow ran through a puddle, just, kind of zipped right through a little puddle, making the wheels wet. And normally, like, if you're on a ripstick, you can kind of just, like, ride it till it slows, and then you can, like, get off. Or
right.
you can hop off and, like, run. Wet wheels, concrete, dude, they hit the water, and it got squirrely, and then slam. Like, I don't know what happened. I think the wheels just came out from underneath me. I dropped the people's elbow like The Rock has never seen. I'm talking fourth rope, off the ropes, and just boom, right on the concrete, absolutely obliterating my elbow.
Now, didn't you say that somebody like tweeted about like?
Yeah, dude. Please, if there is any chance in the world that this person ever hears this story, I swear, while I was laying on the ground, bleeding and just embarrassed, my ego hurt the most. At that point, there's so much adrenaline going through my body that my knee and my elbow hadn't hurt yet. My ego, Thanos, my dude, you're really kind of messing the whole show up.
What's going on today, bud?
Can you not? Thank you. My ego hurt the most, and I swear I heard someone just like, I just watched this kid eat shit on a ripstick, and I swear I saw it on like a KSU Confessions Twitter page, or like, I swear I saw a tweet. Maybe I just want to pretend for a second. Ooh, that was bold to assume he didn't take a cord with him.
Well,
yeah, I swear, or maybe I just want to believe that someone saw how cool it looked for like 0.6 seconds, and then my dumbass just gets worked. So, just completely destroyed my knee. I don't know, something in my elbow got all jacked up. I walked to class bleeding. My camera somehow did not break, which is impressive. When I hit, I really thought I like worked my camera. Turned in my photo project, and my professor goes, "Are you good?" And I said, "Nope." I said, "I'm going to the hospital." And he goes, "That's fair." He like took my assignment, and I left. And that's when I called you and said, "I need to go to the doctor," because Leslie at the time didn't have her driver's license.
Yeah.
And I'm sure shit wasn't about to drive myself there.
No, not after that. No, and like, I still feel bad. Like we're like, what was it? Probably like an iPhone 3GS or something at that point. I'm trying to navigate to a hospital, and we found like one that like wasn't even like open anymore. Like wasn't a real thing.
We ended up at some hospital that didn't exist, and we had to find another one. This is what 2000 and
it was 10, right?
10, 11.
It was 10.
I mean, obviously the internet was still in its infant stage,
especially
or maybe
on smartphones.
Yeah, mobile internet was still in its infancy.
You can't just say the word hospital and like you're gonna find.
Yeah, no. Like you had to click on the internet, and you had to wait 5 minutes for Google to pull up. Like it was. Yeah, we found a hospital. I was still under my mom's insurance, so like all was good.
Yeah,
but it was a wild experience.
Yeah, that was something.
I still don't know if I'm actually allergic to Dimetapp, but I just tell people that because that's what my mom said.
And I got to tell the doctor for you that time.
That was insane.
So good.
The doctor was like, "What's the dynamic here?"
Don't worry about that.
Hey! Don't ask questions you aren't ready for the answers to, sir.
That was so funny.
Oh man, I forgot about the ripstick story. They're just washing the fail away,
and then just like weeks, months after that, if you just like having like a cast on or like sitting there just like super uncomfortable, like on the 11th floor, just like, damn it. Like,
man, it looked so cool though. Like I made the hill, and that's the part that hurts the most, like that Rascal Flatts song, is knowing that I was so close. I made it. I was 99% of the way through riding that out first try.
99.9% downloaded.
Yep.
Internet crashed. Failed. Done.
Man.
Setback.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. Definitely a setback.
Segways are weird.
Speaking of segways.
Oh.
No.
I almost got hit by one in Washington, D.C.
Of course it's in Washington, of all places.
Yeah. They were doing like those Segway tours, and it was like some foreign tourist, and my Trinity like stepped out, and this lady got all squirrely, and she almost ran into us on her Segway.
Dude, remember the time we rented those Birdie scooters or whatever?
Scooty boys.
And we were just like,
Where were we, in Charlotte or Raleigh?
we were in Charlotte that right? Because I got my finger tattoos done.
Sure.
Was it?
It
I don't
was
know.
one of
It
the
was
two.
one of the cities.
We ended up in some brand new construction parking deck.
Yep.
And we snuck onto the top and flew the drone around.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that I did not crash that scooter.
Are you like that uncoordinated on like?
I mean, I'm just a big guy. It's kind of hard to like keep things. I don't know. I mean, I'm just surprised.
You just have like a really solid foundation core. Like, I mean, I know that you're
Yeah.
not top heavy, but your center of gravity is easily thrown off. But like,
Yeah,
you got like reflexes.
So let's keep that in mind while I go over the list of my injuries.
Okay, yeah.
So let's see. Starting off young, I had I think what was it? My sister sat on me. We were like playing one day, and I broke my collarbone.
Okay.
I was like 4 or 5 or
I
something.
don't feel like that's your fault.
No, but still, like it was done.
You weak bitch.
Yeah, 4. Like, needed more calcium.
Yeah, so you needed to drink more milk.
Yeah. So there's that one.
Some milk.
I think I've broken both wrists. I don't even remember
No cool
half
sled
of.
riding story.
No, so like the one ankle, I broke both ankles. The one ankle I broke, it was like, so think of this, okay? Let's picture it. It's what? I think it was like spring, right? First nice day of spring. I'm outside.
Like today.
Yeah, and for some reason I'm like, I want to play basketball today. I'm not a sports person, but I was like, I'm going to basketball. I had a basketball hoop, right?
I mean, you are by far my tallest friend. It still shocks me that like somehow you aren't good at basketball.
Yeah, no, I'm awful.
Like you're
Yeah.
so close to the rim, you don't really have to do a lot. You just kind of like place it in the hoop and be like, point.
So I'm awful, and this story is going to tell you why.
Oh, boy.
So it was the first nice day I'm out there by myself playing, right? And then like where the edge of the driveway meets grass, I just stepped and my ankle went,
Oh, rolled an ankle.
Just-
We've all done that.
but broke it. Like,
Oh, that's a bad roll.
yeah, like it was like a Jeep rolls. You know what I mean? Like it was bad.
You are a tall man. When
Yeah.
when your foundation is out, you're like a tree. You come crashing down.
No chance. Yeah, so yeah, broken ankle there. Was in a cast, crutches, everything, right? And then the other ankle, I was playing again another sport in gym class, football. I went to jump to catch the ball, didn't get it.
Unfortunate.
Would have been so much cooler if I did catch
Yeah.
it, scored, and then broke my ankle.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
all,
just,
all gluts, guts and glory. Sorry for that one.
But now it was just all bad
Yeah.
and awkward. Jumped up, missed it, came down, gone, broken ankle. I remember.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I felt my wrist break when I landed from the sled riding thing. Like I put my hand up and I heard it.
Yeah, I knew immediately. I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
And then like I remember being in the nurse's like office at the clinic or whatever. And I'm just sitting there, and she's like,
And your foot's just kinda, like,
Yeah, she's
dangling.
trying to like ask me questions. Like, now does it feel? I'm like, just call my mom. just call her.
Lady, I'm 14. Call my mom.
I'm trying to get this fixed. Can you just stop asking me questions and call her? Thanks, please. Like,
Do you need a Tylenol
yeah,
or an ice pack?
Right. Like, oh my God. But yeah, so broken ankle there, cast again. I fell off of, you know, those like chairs that have like a little like round stool and they just like fold together. You know what I'm saying? So like the base like folds open and there's like a round stool, but like
Oh,
it,
like the super
compact.
duper cheap bar stools,
Yeah.
like a foldable bar stool.
I
Okay.
fell off one of those onto the back of a recline, like a rocking chair, like the little angle, the back angle of a rocking chair, and I cracked my tailbone.
Oof. Yikes.
Yeah, so I remember like physically crawling up the stairs, like, hey.
Do you
this
remember
hurts.
how difficult it was not to sit in school, but it was to wipe your butt?
I don't remember that specifically.
Oh my gosh! Like I like the pregnancy pillow was hilarious to take around school, but it was actually really comfortable to sit on.
I got to carry one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
crutches and a little pillow.
Yeah, but like that wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was wiping my
I
ass.
don't even remember. Like, I think I was in 6th grade. I don't remember that.
Oh man, you know what? It's a good trauma that you forget because
I definitely don't.
you take
remember
for
that.
granted the days that you can wipe your butt with no pain.
I mean, I think everyone's going to get there eventually, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the whole point of life is to find the person that you want to wipe your butt for you later on in life, right?
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you physically can't do it, the person who should love you unconditionally enough to wipe your ass for you.
You said forever. Like,
Till
wipe,
death, bitch.
wipe.
We respect our wives.
Yeah.
That was a joke. That was a joke for the record. Megan, I will ask you to please wipe my butt when I get older.
Yeah, I mean, I had that surgery, that brain surgery. I couldn't barely walk or do anything.
Yeah,
So,
right. You
like,
forgot how to tie your shoes, forgot how to wipe your butt. Yeah, absolutely.
No, like Taylor had to shower me. Like,
Yeah,
I couldn't
well,
do
yeah.
anything. I just stood there. I'm like, am I clean? Like, I don't know. I can't look around. I can't do anything.
Well, yeah, they didn't want you to move your head, right?
Yeah, I physically couldn't.
Oh.
Like, I physically couldn't. Like, I would if I had to turn, it was like I'm just gonna look around like this. Like, I couldn't physically rotate my neck.
Oh, that's so
They're like,
weird.
don't put your head up.
Oh, I couldn't do that. No way.
Don't put your head down. Like, it was literally just keep your head
Yeah,
stationary.
see, Taylor will totally wipe your butt when you
It
get
was-
older.
It was.
If
it
you
was
ever have
something.
to, if you happen to break both wrists at the same time, Taylor would definitely
Yeah.
wipe your butt.
Yeah, but they have bidets for that now. I still don't have a bidet.
I had
But-
one. I received it as a wedding gift. I had one. We used it for probably 6 months, and I just wasn't a fan. It sprayed directly where I didn't want it to spray. Not so much around the area to clean it. It just went bullseye, and I was like, I'm not a fan of this. So
Did you just need to change a setting, less penetrate, more clean?
I don't know. There was some knobs. I threw the instructions away.
It was all in Chinese. I have no
wasn't-
idea.
I wasn't really going to test it out. So, yeah, I had one. Personally, wasn't a fan. Not saying that they're not useful. I have friends who have them, and they liked it.
I just can't. I imagine Jim, why are you in the bathroom so long? I'm testing the bidet. This one's a little bit aggressive, but if I hit this one button, then it's kind of pleasant.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you gotta at
fine
least,
tune it.
Yeah, right. You gotta find the Goldilocks settings. You gotta turn it to the settings you don't want to find the settings you do want.
It's set it on 10. Oh, it's too far. I'm a
Limit
7
testing.
kind of guy.
No, limit
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah.
You start at a 1, you go to 10, and then you dial it backwards until it doesn't hurt.
And this is how you test a bidet.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I think that was, I've definitely also had, I think I would consider it concussions. I was playing dodgeball.
Considered a concussion?
I was young. So I don't remember the doctor being he's got a concussion. But I'm assuming
Your doctor was very burly.
he seemed like it in my memory of it.
Well, yeah, as a small child.
I
but-
wasn't sure. I probably had a concussion. I don't actually remember.
Yeah, right.
But so the one time I was playing kickball in 2nd grade, and then I remember running to home base. I'm thinking, I got this. I did not got this. Someone threw the ball, hit me in the back of the head, face planted onto a rock. That's why I still have a scar right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do see that.
Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
I remember walking inside to the clinic and just just dripping. And the other time was going downstairs, right? Walking down the stairs, and those little gold metal strip the carpet tile separators.
Oh, yeah. I believe it's called a transition strip.
Okay. I slipped on a rug and I hit the back of my head on
that.
I remember
Dude, that's 1.5 inches wide. What are the chances?
because it was on a step.
That's so crazy.
So I hit it and I slid down the stairs, and I'll remember is I yelled for my dad, and then I remember nothing else.
Ooh, yeah.
Hospital.
That's definitely a
blood.
concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dude, hold on. How is it that every time you hit the ground, somehow you bleed? Now, in my defense,
Very
every time
carefully.
I've hit the ground, all of my injuries have been internal. Never, thankfully, again, knock on wood, none of my injuries have ever been external where my bones are sticking out.
Right.
Like, I've broken my arm, I've broken my wrist, broken my ankle,
Yeah.
broken my elbow. Like, nothing has been like protruding from the skin.
Yeah, like in those UFC fights when someone like kicks somebody wrong and then their bone just like
no, thank
jag
you,
out the side
sir.
of the
I don't
leg.
want to vomit today. That's enough of that. Yeah, hard pass. How is it that you fall down the stairs and hit a transition strip and bleeding? I fall and I hit a rock on my forehead, bleeding.
I mean, by the time I was in second grade, I was probably the size you are now, right?
Well, yeah,
So
yeah. You're
it
all
just
6'1" at 13.
yeah, it
You got a long way to go down when you
Yeah.
go down. That's fair.
yeah. Yeah, but I think that's the majority of my injuries. If I had a concussion, I didn't remember getting it anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
That's all I got. That's all I got for that one.
Hey, that you know what? Props to TK. That was a good
That
one.
was a good one.
So, like, okay, so again, segues are weird. So now that we've both had our surgeries and it's been a significant amount of time, have you? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Have you gotten your test yet?
I switched insurances, and I just have
Haven't
yet to
gone yet?
follow up.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I've had my first appointment, and happy to announce that the results came back negative.
Wait, is there multiple appointments?
So the way our particular doctor, because we have the same one,
Right.
described it to me is if you provide your sample, they take a look at it. If there are remnants that are dead or low sort of like movement, he wants another one, right, to give it more time to see until you get a negative. Or if he sees them all dead, he still recommends one. If your test comes back 0 dead, no traces of like any sort of like visual representation that they may still be there, he gives you 100% thumbs up, you're good to go. I received such notification and it said 100% clean, good to go.
Gucci.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is good news because that means it was successful, or at least it was effective immediately. I personally am just still not ready to
Brisket.
risk it for the biscuit because that's not a biscuit I'm really hungry for. So I requested a second follow-up in 6 months instead of 3 months because we had our surgeries, February, March?
Yeah.
So this one was 3 months. I'm going to go 6 months and get a second one. And if that one comes back negative, I think at that point it's going to be up to Megan to make her decision as to what she wants to do, going forward, because she has her IUD. And if she wants to keep it, that's entirely her decision. Cool, because it like regulates her system. And if she wants to get rid of it because like she's tired of pumping all that hormones in her body to like prevent that from happening, completely up
So
to her.
here, that's not the best.
Yeah, I mean, you read a lot of things on the internet. A lot of women say that, oh yeah, I gained weight when I got it, or I got off of the birth control, whether it's the pill or the IUD or wherever, and they say, oh, and then I got my period back, but then I lost a lot of weight. So they each have, what you would say pros and cons,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not my equipment, not my decision to make, unlike the damn government. But
I was going to say, if more people had that,
yeah,
that
right.
opinion,
It's such a crazy, right? Did you hear the crazy words that were coming out of my mouth? Like how insane I sounded. Yeah. Like how, not to get political, but how do the government people not go, oh yeah, that's normal? Like I don't have that equipment, so you guys decide what you want to do.
is
What?
people in power will want to stay in power, and they'll find any way to do it. I don't know.
And actually, you know what? It's that's a good, something that Megan and I were talking about is right. So, like with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and they're kind of really, really enforcing that like abortion should be illegal, and if you get pregnant, like you're sticking it out. I'm really glad that at least, and I'll say we as in you and I, but we got our surgeries before they made those illegal, to like really kind of force people into these like, because the whole no kid movement or child free movement, a lot of people are like, oh, well, what happens when all these people start having kids? Like, what do we do? And it's like, hey man, like that's my decision. And like, whatever I want to do is that's my life. And it's just like, it was only a matter of time until, we can tell women that they can't get abortions, and if you get pregnant, you have to do it. What if like every guy was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get a surgery and then I'll get it reversed when I'm ready to like have a kid. I'm just spitballing an idea. Eventually, they're gonna make it illegal too.
Never even thought of that.
Right. I mean, like at some point in time, they're gonna be like, the pressure shifted a lot to men, and now men are saying, I want a vasectomy because, these women don't have the ability to seek help. So now I'm going to take it on me to do, right? And it's only a matter of time till.
But then wouldn't that require them to say that like each individual like semen is a human life and you can't?
Oh, dude, let's not
But see,
go
that's
there.
what I'm saying, though?
Oh, you were
But that's
100%
what-
right.
but that's what it is.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, the whole, and I'm not here to debate whether an embryo is a life, whatever. Like, it's your choice, whatever you want to do.
Politicians aren't scientists. So
What?
Politicians aren't scientists, but they act as if they are. So.
Yes, that is, wow.
I don't know. It's
that
a
is
wild,
factual.
wild topic.
Yeah.
But I never even thought of what you said. That's definitely.
Yeah, it was just something that Megan and I had talked about. Like, you know, we had the conversation. Hey, the doctor said I'm good. So, like, if you want to, you can. And she's like, yeah, you know, I'm not ready yet. I don't think so. Whatever she decides. And we just kind of got on the subject of like, what happens if like I hadn't got it done, and then it became illegal for me to get it done?
Right.
Like, then we have like you have no choice left but to just be careful in your intimacy, you know. And it's just like
pay for the government supplied.
birth control, which,
yeah.
let's be real, will probably be absolute bottom of the barrel in effectiveness.
But
you'll have a
but-
1% chance of not
But
getting
they want to
pregnant.
make money off of it.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. So
Typical
what,
government.
however they can spin it to make
Yeah.
money, yeah, that's just crazy to think.
That really is. Never even thought of that.
And again, I'm so happy that I made that decision for myself,
Oh, yeah.
so that the pressure now is at least mostly off of Megan, and she can kind of focus on whatever is going to be best for her, whether she
yeah,
decides.
because like you decided like don't want a kid. Cool. That's an easy choice for you to make.
Yeah.
To have that surgery done, and then like
$900, dude.
You're right.
$900.
You're right. And then like the pressure's off.
Yep.
It's like we just wanted one kid.
Yep.
So I did my part.
Yep.
Pressure's off.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
So like I don't
Made
see
a
it
quick
as
dinner. Taylor baked it in the oven, and then you guys got your little Reedy cake.
Now we're done.
Yeah, you got a little Reedy cake.
I don't know why talking about that made him excited, but
Did you guys say cake?
You say cake.
I like cake. I'm a dog, but I like cake.
dog.
You know what? While we're on the subject of the whole like kids thing, the other day, you know how back in September, or at least once a year, I fall into my negative Nancy Red of like, I'm gonna delete social media because I hate it and it's stupid.
That does happen about a year.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you went through it on Twitter once. I've gone through it on Facebook a couple of
times.
times because I think Facebook is just garbage. But I also think that maybe my opinion on Facebook is also of my own doing. You know, you open your Facebook app real quick and tell me how many friends you have. I have not checked this prior to.
1,479.
Yep, I have 276. Now, typically what happens is because I have been a bit close-minded on my stance of being child-free, anytime one of my friends is like, "Oh my god, I'm pregnant," or "We're pregnant," I immediately unfollow because I know what's coming and I just don't care. And I know that's extraordinarily selfish and like rude to vocalize out loud, but
I mean, like, you're happy for them. You just don't want to like.
yep,
have
I don't want to be
that,
involved.
Like,
Not that I'm involved, but I don't need to be bombarded with the things you think like I care about. Which
like you're still friends with them. You just
Yeah.
unfollowed them.
Yes,
But
yes,
that's.
yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
right, and so I think where my closed-mindedness has affected me today is when I'm on Facebook, it's the same 15, 20 people that I get their updates for, and it's mostly the 15, 20 people who of my friends list have yet to have a child. And I think social media, I have made it just a boring dystopian of like,
It could be.
it's the same 3 people sharing memes, and I'm like, God, this is useless. Because I've been an asshole and I've unfollowed all of
Made
my
it,
friends.
You built the bed, and now
Yeah,
you're.
I have. If it isn't the consequences of my actions.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fair. That's pretty. I will say, I don't tend to post a lot on Facebook. I might share some things here and there, maybe a picture or two. But I pretty much just like I get stuck in like the Facebook Reels or whatever, and I just like
That's me on Instagram, but same concept.
But yeah, so the whole social media thing, like Twitter, I don't really care too much about.
Yeah.
Like I
did it in college a lot, and now I don't care anymore.
Like I just really don't care about Twitter. Instagram, they butchered it. It's not for photographers anymore. It's all
videos.
it's TikTok Junior.
I think of it as TikTok for adults. right?
Yeah.
Like I would label TikTok for the younger generation,
Yeah.
or at least like the younger folks of the millennial generation and everyone underneath.
And underneath, yeah.
I'm not here to shame, like, oh, you like TikTok, you're a child. No, I'm just saying I don't like TikTok because it's more geared towards a younger
Like
gen.
if you're like 15 years old, you're not going to make an Instagram. You're going to make a TikTok.
Yeah,
account.
right.
Yeah.
I'm 30. TikTok is too fast that I don't understand it, and I sound like a boomer right now. I don't understand technology these days, but like I just TikTok, I don't care enough to get it. I get Instagram and I get Facebook, and I'm gonna stick with those.
Yeah, I pretty much like if I'm not on Facebook watching like the reels or whatever, I'm on YouTube and YouTube
Yep.
Shorts. It's all the same stuff.
I don't do the shorts, but I watch the things I like on
So
YouTube.
like a lot of the people that I follow on like Instagram or if I have a TikTok account, I just never really use it. But those people also post on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So like they post their short form content everywhere.
Yeah.
So I can get almost all the same stuff from YouTube. So like I'll watch a few videos, click on one YouTube short, and then I'm still scrolling the exact same way with Facebook, but I don't have to deal with anybody else.
Yeah.
It's just channels I already follow posting stuff that I'm already interested in. So like it's targeting me much better.
feeding that algorithm machine.
Yeah, it's doing a wonderful job at it. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I agree. Like if I wasn't like a photographer or like occasional content creator, I would not be on Facebook or Instagram or literally any. I would just use YouTube. It's like I just don't.
Yeah, I want to.
care.
I want to intake not TV, but I want to intake the content I want to see from the creators I want to see. Yep, that's fair. Totally fair.
Yeah, like there's probably, I don't know, 10, 15 channels that I follow between like people who do podcasts on like wrestling or like photography or photographers on YouTube that I follow, people who open Pokemon cards. Like there's like 2 channels that I still follow because it's just like, cool, I don't want to spend money on Pokemon cards right now, so I'll watch someone else do it. So like those are like the quick doses of content that I want to watch. I can get them all on YouTube. I don't need it from any other place. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've ruined my Facebook app, and like I've tried to go into the unfollow people you've unfollowed list and like maybe like dial it back, but like I can't find that setting. And I could only imagine if I had 1,100 friends or whatever that number you said, it had a comma in it, which is insane.
Yeah.
The fact that it has a comma is just wild. I'm not going through 270 people to refollow them and see what Facebook should be.
Let alone,
Yeah, let alone 1,400. So
I mean, I've definitely unfollowed people, but it was like people who like at one point in my life we were friends and I have nothing against you, but then it's like
your
political,
life direction has changed.
Yeah, either life direction changed or like they have very opposite political views, and it's like, okay, as long as it doesn't involve like basic human rights, I'm just going to unfollow you.
Yeah.
But if you're like talking about like things that are like human rights, like I'm just going to unfriend you.
Yeah.
But like I've unfollowed people I'm still friends with on Facebook because like outside of your opinions on some things,
You're still a pretty cool
I still
person.
like want you to have a good life and like care about you as a person, whatever.
Our values don't align, so I'm just gonna not see them.
I'm just not gonna see what you talk about.
Right.
And I'm sure, I guarantee that I've said some things
that other people have not agreed
people
with.
have been like, "This guy's a dick. I'm not gonna follow him anymore," and it's fine.
Yep.
It's totally fine.
Yep.
But
I mean, we are very opinionated people, and I think that's why the few of our friends that actually do listen to them always give us good feedback. Not because I think we sort of like live in an echo chamber, but we have eliminated or sidelined a good portion of our friends who we don't agree with, but still mean no ill will to. And then like our core value of people who are like, I genuinely care what these two have to say. I'll check out their stuff.
I get that every time we post an episode, the day that it comes out, I get like, I don't know, 10, 11 messages between like Facebook or like text or like, hey, new episode, so good. Or like,
there hasn't been a, bro, that ain't the move. Like cut it out.
And also, I probably got the most messages after the last episode. about
the sex doll thing.
Yeah, like
What did people have to say who, right? Because like I told that story to a couple different people in my circle, and they were like, "Yeah, that's crazy." And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about it on my podcast." And like the conversation really never kind of went forward. What did your group of friends that I introduced that to you have to say to
So
you?
like I had some friends that were like, he's in a relationship with a what? Or like who is this dude? I'm like, I don't know. Don't know. But it's what it is, you know? And then like I had some people who were just like, I just don't get it. Like,
Well,
but they said like I had probably the most positive feedback about that episode as a whole. People were like, I need more of this.
interesting. So like people want interesting rabbit holes of things that exist on the internet. We can make that happen.
We can. Oh, that's a Google search away.
Yeah, right. But like, let it happen organically. But like, I'm about it. Can I provide an update on Sex Doll Man?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I sent you a couple screenshots because it was happening in the moment, and I needed to share it with someone. But I mean, now I get to share it with the podcast. Right. That man has a whole ass YouTube channel, and he had a 10-part series. It was like part 1 of 10 of what it's like to live with a sex doll or live with a doll wife. And I have not watched them yet, but I am interested in creating a fake YouTube account so as to not ruin my algorithm. But I do want to watch all 10 parts of them, and I genuinely want to hear what this man has to say. You know, because like I said, I'm not here to shame, I'm not kink shaming. Man wants to pop off with a plastic wife or whatever polypropylene material it's made out of. God knows what. Pop off, brother. Hey, you do you.
You can't just put that in like a private browsing and go on that, or is it like an 18 and up kind of thing because it's a sex doll?
I don't know because I didn't click on it. I wasn't trying to find out. It just because I was on his Instagram page, it was like new YouTube video up, and I was like, what? So then all I did was in the search bar, I typed in his channel name as to not feed into the data points of recommending that content to me. So I will be investigating that further if anyone wants to know how deep down that rabbit hole will go.
10-part series.
We do like a review of each of his episodes. No, I'm not here to shame that man that hard. I will watch them, and I'm genuinely curious what his verbalization of how it works.
So his mission is accomplished. He's providing information for somebody who is curious.
Yeah, I have questions, and maybe he'll answer them in his 10-part series. Who knows? Maybe we'll contact this man and see if he will be a guest on our show. We could get him on a Discord call and
just pop him on the screen.
Yeah, be our first guest on the Midwest Sad Boys podcast.
That'd be wild,
right? Is that how? I mean, that's how a career starts, right? You just start and let it gain momentum.
I mean, if that happens, he's gonna have to be okay with the things that I said in the first episode. I mean, I don't think I
didn't say anything mean.
I wasn't mean. I was just
you were also curious.
I was
with a
taken
bit
off guard by the
skepticism,
topic,
maybe,
and there was some skepticism, but yeah, I mean. Dude, new goal for 2023. Sex doll guy.
Casty boy goals.
On the podcast.
All right. So I had I have some other topics, but let's make it PG here for a second. Dude, the other day we were at the Natural History Museum, and we were in the...
Very different topic.
Yeah, very different topic. We've said the words enough times. Speaking of saying the words enough times, I surprisingly didn't get any ads from the code word that we said in the last episode.
Oh.
You know what? Here, we'll circle back. Last episode, we were talking about code words. I didn't get any ads for those, which was interesting to hear. Yeah. I wonder if we vocalized it and they were like, shit, they're on to us. And they dialed it back a little bit.
Turn it off.
Cut the feed.
I mean,
did you get any additional ads from saying the code word?
I did not.
Yeah, because I was legitimately looking for any sign of... Now, Megan and I have been saying the words patio furniture, and we've been getting recommended chairs because we want to get some new patio furniture, but none of the secret code word we said last time.
Right.
So
right.
It was a very disappointing update to our follow-up episode.
Couch.
Yeah, patio couch. So we are at the Natural History Museum. We are in the fossils exhibit. How, dude? I got some beef with the world. Okay, like the universe. How you gonna tell me that unicorns aren't real, but giraffes are real? Right? We've got rhinos. It's just like a really big whale with a horn. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a narwhal. Is a whale with a horn, right? We have rhinos, which are arguably, I don't like what do you want to call it? That's just like an armored
It's a hippo with a horn.
hippo with a horn. Thank you. That's great. It's an armored hippo, right? We have narwhals, which are just whales with a horn. Rhinos and narwhals are real, but you're telling me we can't have a horse with a horn? Come on now. We have a horse with a long neck, aka a giraffe. It's a really tall horse, is it not?
Yeah, you're making a very convincing argument to the fact
dog,
that,
right? Like,
but I mean, like, okay, hold on,
Right,
Hold
like-
on, no, hold on. So I'm thinking, like, okay, but like, you know, unicorns have a horn and wings, but then I'm like, wait a minute,
that's a Pegasus.
okay,
A unicorn is strictly a horse with a horn.
Oh,
A horse with wings is typically referred to as a Pegasus in mythology, or in my opinion, I would consider that a Pegasus, a horse with wings.
okay, but like now I'm thinking though, there are other animals that have wings.
Yes, birds exist,
No,
and bats.
no. I'm saying,
And
I'm saying like there are like flying squirrels. They have like the webbing thing, so they
Oh,
have
yeah.
wings, right? Like
Arguably not a wing, more of a
but
glider,
there are other animals that have wings.
True.
So why wouldn't there be
a horse with wings.
like it could happen?
Yeah, no, completely fair, absolutely. But how are you going to tell me that a hippo with a horn and a whale with a horn, but we can't have a horse with a horn, but we can have a horse with the absolute tallest neck in the universe? What? How does that make sense? Like what?
I've got nothing to argue.
It was just an idea that
No
I had
notes.
while we were walking around the Natural History Museum in Washington D.C. I'm like, dude, unicorns need to be real. How do we not have unicorns? But giraffes exist. That's a rat. You know, that's a story for another day.
I am
Befuddled,
I've
aren't
got
you?
nothing. I've like there's no argument against this right now that I have. So
Oh, what do I have here? Dude. Okay, so the other day I hung out. Speaking of Nate and Matt, that we talked about, or I talked about earlier, I hung out with them when I was home on my trip.
oh yeah.
Matt, doing great. He's moving to Florida here real soon with him and his newborn and his wife. They're moving to Florida. Nate, killing it his career. Got a house. Like, everyone's doing good. We're all on the up and up, right? I saw the two of them, and we took a photo together. And it just so happened that the following day or 2 days later, a photo of the two of us from many years ago comes up on my time hop. And I was like, "Ooh, Megan, can you send me the photo that we took the other night? I want to make a little collage of the three of us, and like, this is where we've been, and this is where we are." Why doesn't Apple have their own photo collage app? Why do I have to download a third? You have basically developed Photoshop into the base photo app on an iPhone. You mean to tell me you can't build some tiny ass PSD file that is split into a couple different formats and like let me drag and drop some? Like, Apple, come on. And where I'm going with this is, we were just talking about iOS 17 this morning. I would like to see, or hope, that the phone is listening and Apple puts a built-in photo collage app in iOS 17.
That would be
What is
something.
today's date? June 3rd. I'm calling
I mean,
it.
because they do make the video collages of photos or videos from
Yeah.
certain locations or memories.
Yeah.
But
Procreate did it for $10. You mean to tell me multi-billion-dollar company Apple can't figure this out?
yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean, there's like PicStitch and all
Yeah.
those other apps that are like
I've got
free.
like
and
Bizarre
you can just,
Art or PicStitch or
Yeah.
Wumbo Photos or whatever. I mean, there's a trillion of them. Every one of them that's going to like steal your data and like download all your
Oh, yeah,
photos.
yeah.
You know, that's what they're there for, is like getting all your intimate bits on that's buried in your files on your phone. So like whatever. But just the fact that Apple can't do it or doesn't want to do it, come on now. That seems silly.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they will.
I'm saying June 3rd. All my techie boys out there, I'm calling it. I'm
Calling it.
hoping.
I'm going to be watching this next Apple event like a hawk. And they're like, iOS 17. I'm going to be like, here it comes.
Photo collage.
And they're saying, like, speaking on photos, we are thrilled to announce. And it's going to be like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it. And I'm going to be like, you were right.
They fucking did it. The sons of bitches did it.
They were listening.
Dude, it's crazy. It was a random thought that I had when I was just trying to put together two photos. Like, if I, random dude on the internet, can think of this, somebody who's making 6-7 figures up at Apple.
Some engineer at Apple.
Somebody can do a fucking app in 2 hours. Those dudes are geniuses.
Yeah, so like when you go into photos and you hit select and you can choose like multiple photos.
Add to collage.
Collage. You just add to collage and you can pick your little layout. They don't have to give you a ton. 2, 4, whatever.
Apple. My last name is Altier. Make sure you spell it right on the check when you.
The third.
Altier the third.
Confusing.
And I believe it's Kovach. Yeah. We'll anxiously be waiting our checks when iOS 17 drops.
I'll take a 70-30 split on that. It was his idea.
Oh, all right, whatever.
Yeah, you get 7. I'll take 30. All I did was say select and hit collage. I didn't do anything else, but I'll take it.
I just had a brainstorm. You put it to words.
Hey.
Dude, isn't that crazy though?
That is honestly kind of wild.
It seems so simple.
But like, I mean, Apple notoriously has been a little later to certain features on their phones.
But I'd also argue that I don't think any of the Samsung apps or phones or Google Pixels. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure about Pixel. They do have like the Magic Eraser feature on their phones, which is really cool. Just a little Photoshop like little filter kind of feature kind of thing where they can just like you can highlight a little thing and it gets rid of it. Magic Eraser, what it's called, but. Yeah, but I don't know about the collaging or anything like that. So that's it's still good. It's a good idea. It's a real good idea.
Thank you. I'd like to think that it was also a good idea. Yeah. Speaking of tech, do you remember the other day when you were sending me that photo and we were having extraordinary troubles to get it correctly? Yeah. And you said, I'll email it to you. What's your email? First off, bitch, I've had the same email for as long as you have had your email.
Yeah.
How are you going to be like, what's your email?
I didn't know. Dude, I didn't know. Like, I have switched to using my iCloud.
Really? Are you phasing out the EDU?
That's I don't want to ever see your updates or like this is where I'm going to get my coupon codes.
Interesting.
So I don't use it for anything else anymore. I pretty much got rid of it for everything. There might be a few websites where that's like the 2-factor thing, but I'm pretty much using my iCloud for most things, and then like maybe 1 or 2 other emails for like photography or like specific stuff.
Right.
So I just didn't know if I did it. Maybe.
And so the reason I bring that up is I think you may have sparked my interest in like getting a new email.
Oh my god.
Like I still have my AOL email and that's my junk one where like, oh, let me sign up for this free trial of whatever. And like I don't give a shit about that email.
Right.
But like that is my 2-factor for my Kent email, and my Kent email is like my main one. Like when we applied for a mortgage, when I create accounts for jobs, I use my .edu because it does have that sort of more professional feel to it than at AOL email.
Unless they realized you graduated
10 years ago.
Like, oh, this guy's just lazy as shit. Okay, got it.
And that's what like, isn't it weird? Like, I've sparked the idea of getting a new email and like phasing. What I really wanted to go with this is that concept of a master email. What if you lost the password to that one? Right? Like, that's the one that you use everything for, and you lose.
Oh, that's your recovery email. That's your
dude. I'm telling you, like my safety net. What happens when you lose the password to the safety net?
Well, you got to make some phone calls then.
Who do you call? Not Ghostbusters, but like who do you call?
You just got to do forgot password and hope that you can do it.
I mean, that seems too easy, but like
it's never. But it's never that easy.
Yeah.
It's never that easy. Like when you like forget your iCloud password and you mess it up too many times.
Oh,
like,
and Apple locks you out.
Like, let's do your account recovery. We'll send you a thing in 2 weeks. What?
No, I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah,
there's probably a reason I'm trying to get into this.
Working
email.
in mobile at Best Buy or what I work now with AT&T, like it happens all the time. People are like, I forgot my iCloud email. It's like, okay, just before you try it like 10 times and mess it up, just hit forgot password.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously.
No. You say obviously, but it's not obvious.
Oh, you mean to tell me there's people who don't think that way?
I literally had someone text me, and they're like, Yeah, I have to do account recovery. Like, wait, why didn't you just hit forgot password?
I mean, if I forget my password twice, I'm hitting forgot password.
Yeah, but that's us.
Normal thinking?
Like
Question
this
mark?
generation used to computers and tech. This is the normal, like, standard operating procedure. Try it once. No, maybe it's a different password. No, maybe I've had a little exclamation point because it was the same and they didn't want me to make the same password again. But no, they're like, I've tried my password 16 times and now my phone is locked out and they're
For 6 years.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, like they're doing account recovery. Like, my phone just reset itself. Like, stop trying. Hit forgot password. There's a button there. There's literally a button for your problem. What happened? You forgot your password? Oh, look. Look at this button right here.
I feel so silly now because, like, it's. I mean, I recognize that forgot password exists, but it's just like the idea of, okay, let's say that it is compromised, right, and then it is placed in a lock status. Not so much that I forgot the password, right? Like, someone hacks your email. Google's like, yo, we noticed that you got hacked. We're locking it down, and it's never getting used again. Like, then what do you do?
Well, no,
That's what I'm...
but you're right though. So, like, for example, the Kent email, if I remember right, because my mom, she worked there and she told me about the email and everything. Like, as long as you still use it actively, then
like a time limit.
Yeah, then it'll be active. So, in your situation, if you didn't sign into that email, you didn't open it, you didn't use it, and then you had another email you used. So this could happen to you. This could happen to you 5 years from now. You make another email this week, right? 5 years from now, you're like, oh man, I have to
haven't checked my Kent
I
in a
haven't checked
long
that one in a
time.
hot minute. It's telling me to do a 2-factor to get in and, like, reset this, but you didn't log in, so it went inactive, and they deleted it.
Yikes.
So you're 100% right. That can absolutely happen. I don't know what you do at that point.
Yeah, like what? I mean, you know, how does one rewind the internet, right? Like, I mean, it's just data, so all it is just, you know, literal numerical ones and zeros. Like, what happens when someone presses the delete button on that?
You got to hope that their customer service has a way to verify you another way so you can
That's insane.
get it back.
That's crazy to think that, like, you could just legitimately get locked out of, like, almost your entire online presence.
So, kind of similar. So this happened to my mom. She, for some reason, when they switched to AT&T, it was like 2 years ago, the people who did it, they messed something up. Said the number from T-Mobile couldn't switch over, so she had to get a new phone number.
Ooh, dude.
Do you know
I
how
feel like
difficult that's a nightmare waiting to happen?
You just unlocked a new fear. I couldn't imagine losing my phone number that I've had since I was 14 years old.
So not only do you have to remember a new number, you also have to, like your bank, your 2-factor verification. They're going to send you a text to your phone number.
Oh, God.
Oh, but it's not this phone number anymore. Oh, well,
yeah, right.
Then you
As
gotta
a bank
call,
employee,
and you have
yeah.
to there's so many things that are tied to that phone number.
Yeah.
Like Facebook login, you can do it with the phone number. So if you don't have access to an email maybe that you started in 2007, yeah, like my Facebook originally was on an AOL email from 2007.
Oh man.
So, like, it's still active as, like, one of the primary emails. So, like, if I had to get a new phone number and I couldn't get a verification code sent to this phone number, it's going to send an email to an AOL email that is not real
Doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore. Holy shit.
So, like,
yeah, right. So, like, you know, not so much that, like, oh, my identity is who I am online, right? Obviously, who I am online is just a reflection of who I am in real life. But, like, what happens when your entire, like, online identity is just removed, or it is, you know, locked, and, like, you have to start over, and then people are like, oh, well, who's the new internet you, right? Like, isn't that weird? You almost not have to start your life over, but, like, you could in theory live a completely whole new lifestyle.
Nobody has your number.
Yeah.
Your email.
And right, and then whatever you do post is like, that's your new life. Like,
So this is like the people who, like, just ditch their old Facebook page and start a brand new one.
yeah.
No one sees the old. They don't see the
Or like you
see your
lock
history.
it down
Yeah.
to the point where like no public
Nobody can
stuff
see
can
it.
see. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, yeah, this old profile of Jim exists. Who's the new Jim? And then there's my new page.
That's like when I started taking photography seriously. I went in my Instagram and I archived every photo that wasn't like a professionally taken. So like I remember that had one of like a dumpster that had like flowers in the corner and like there was raccoons in it or something from like an old apartment. I don't know why that ended up on Instagram with a filter on it.
That's funny though.
Right, but like I'm gonna go and archive that. So now when you look at my profile, it's like, oh, these are all like professionally taken photos. It's not professionally taken photos.
Dumpster
transitioning back
raccoon.
to dumpster raccoon with flowers. Like I did my own reset.
An internet reset. That's
Yeah.
I like that. That's you know what? That's pretty cool. I didn't think you could do something like that. I mean, shit. Facebook came out when we were 18, and then like it was
My first semester of college.
Yeah, you couldn't. At one point, you couldn't make a Facebook account without an EDU email, right? And it was kind of like an important thing that like you went to college to get an EDU
Well,
email.
you had to have somebody verify that you went to a school too, because you had to
Yeah.
have like your high school or whatever, and somebody else who had to like say that they knew you or something.
Yeah.
it was something weird. I mean, it's been like 16 years, but
Yeah, I remember early Facebook when you could like poke someone.
oh yeah,
Such a
Poke wars,
such a
waving.
strange internet space we lived in. Like at the tail end of, I mean, MySpace was really in its heyday, but Facebook was in its early infant stages, and like people had both, and like Facebook was like your cool new school friends, and your MySpace was like
high school.
who
middle
I
school
was
friends.
outside
Yeah.
of school or outside
Yeah.
of like my adult life, air quote.
Right. Yeah. And it was like Farmville and like Castle Age and all these like
Dog, I played the ever
I
living
know.
shit out of Farmville,
I
and
know.
we played some Castle Age for a long time.
I remember, but now it's like Facebook's not about that stuff anymore. It's like
It's all ads. It's
listening to what
ads.
you're saying, and an ad.
ads.
Every fifth post that you scroll by is an ad.
5, honestly, dude, I'd give you 4 or even 3. Dude, it is, I'm telling you, it is so
curious.
bad.
I'm curious.
You know
All
what?
right, so
Let's do it
gonna
right now.
Close and reopen.
Oh, yep, that's
Okay.
fair.
Okay. So person
Oh, hang on.
sponsored.
I had,
Oh my! The second one.
dude, see what I mean? Like
Suggested for you. Person.
All right, let's open
Person sponsored.
So first up is a memory. That's a page that I follow. So memory post from something that I do follow,
Mm-hmm.
sponsored ad.
Yeah.
Person, story, sponsored ad.
Oh yeah. So
It's
see,
so bad.
sponsored. Person suggested for me. Sponsored.
Who?
Person.
What sort of
Sponsored.
like resources does it take to create a social network app? Like, I haven't seen the movie, so like I don't know what exactly went into Facebook, but like we need an internet reset where it's not about your data anymore. It's just literally you sharing the things that you want to say and being friends with the people you want to be friends with without companies coming for you. Like,
Literally early Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, like remember how good Facebook was when it was just about connecting with people. There
Yeah.
was no ads, there was no pages for businesses. I recognize now that Facebook is a tool for businesses to connect.
It's useful. Yep.
Yeah, right? Like I'm a local business, I create a Facebook page. Let Facebook show me all of the people in my community and I can reach out to them. I get
Do
it.
you know how specific like those targeted ads are?
It's terrifying.
So I set one up when I was advertising for weddings.
Yeah, tell me the behind the scenes.
So one of the, because I had followed this wedding photographer on YouTube, and these were his suggested guidelines. So you can literally target either a radius, or you can do specific zip codes. Recommended were like, so like around us, Southern Pines, Charlotte, Raleigh, higher income areas, because you want people who can afford you.
You can set it by like
Yes.
income.
So
How does Facebook?
you can set it by location.
Oh.
So you pick the ones that are like higher income areas, right? So then you can pick age. So I'm gonna pick women 18 to 30,
Married age. Yep.
right? So then I'm gonna pick recently engaged or recently changed status to engaged.
Oh my God. They give you the opportunity to like, you know what? It makes sense that every time you change your information, it updates
Yep.
a spreadsheet. I didn't even think of that.
And then you can also choose based on interests. So if you've like recently followed David's Bridal or
Yeah.
like
related wedding
anything
things.
related,
Hashtag wedding. Yeah.
then you will also show up. So I remember when I did that, I think it was like 2,000 some clicks to my website in like a 2-month period.
That's insane.
Right.
How much did that cost? I'm just curious. You don't have to answer if you don't want
So
to.
you get to choose how
What?
much money you want to spend. So I did.
Okay, Yelp.
Yeah. I did $3 a day.
Okay.
And you can
What sort of engagement did they air quote promise you?
a certain number of clicks either to a website or to your business page. So I will say, when I had it set to, I want people to message me directly, like promote engagement by messaging or by liking my page, I got way more actual involvement. When I had it set to, I want people to view my website, I got way more views, but less people clicking through.
So they would go to it, see what you're about, and be like, great page, I'm out.
Right. So like for whatever reason, but whenever you have them directly message you on Facebook, like I'm pretty good with talking to people.
I would
right?
hope so.
Yeah. So like whenever someone messages like, yeah, hi, what are your packages and rates? Instead of them saying like, here, go to this website and look at it, I have a chance to make an impression
Right.
and talk to somebody and then get them to be like, you know, I like this guy. What are your rates? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
You
right.
know what? That is pretty fair.
You
We wanna work
sell
with
the
you.
person, you don't sell the product. That's fair.
Right. So like I feel like I had better results from that, but that's just like how specific those ads can be.
I didn't know that the ability to target was like that super duper narrow. That's scary, dude.
Yeah. But that's why it's like, oh, like these ads that I'm getting are like guitar plugins or guitar amps or recording things, and it's like, yeah, this guy has, you know, posted a picture of a bass guitar and follows Sweetwater
Yeah.
and is between the ages of 18 and 35 and like likes these pages, so like cool, send them all the ads. Like they just know
That's crazy.
it works.
Dude, it's scary. Like, sometimes the internet works in mysterious ways. And my coworker and I were talking about this the other day. She was like, you know, I was talking about how the dystopian Facebook I've created due to my actions about the whole unfollowing friends for kids thing. She was like, you know, like that, you know, if you don't want to see the pictures of the kids, that's, you know, completely justifiable. She's like, and she is a mom and she tries to not post photos of her children on the internet. Mostly, her concern was that of safety, right? Like if I post pictures
Sure.
of my kids and I tag ourselves at this park, there's so many ways to like view aggregate data, right? Like how many times have people checked in at this location, and like somebody can go in there and they can view all those photos of tagged at X, right? And then like if it's something that becomes like a common occurrence, if the person who was collecting or viewing that aggregate data wanted to do nefarious things, you could like, oh, on Tuesday, this family checks in at this place every week and they have 3 children. And if I happen to know somebody who maybe was in the market to steal a child, I can guarantee you.
Or like they go to this park every Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Yep.
They're not going to be home.
They're not going to be home, right?
Yeah.
We just watched it actually, and what was that called? The Bling Ring. Did you watch that on Netflix? So it's a group of teenagers who did exactly that, but they used TMZ to stalk celebrities. And while celebrities were tagging themselves at parties and clubs and yada yada yada, they're like, oh. Example, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton's out at this club. Let's go break into Paris Hilton's house and let's steal a bunch of her money and her jewelry and her clothes. And these kids got away with it for like a really long time. And like that was, again, early infancy days of the internet when like we weren't aware of like the horrors of what social media can invite into your home. Right? Like my dad always jokes, I don't share anything on Facebook. I don't want people to know when I'm away. And I always thought it sounded silly, but now I'm a homeowner and like I've got Megan, and I'm going to out myself here. We don't have a lot of protection in our home. We do have a very aggressive dog that like would definitely
cameras.
fuck somebody up.
You
And
got
I got
cameras.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have like a weapon.
Like, sure.
Yeah. So, like when we went on our vacation, I didn't post that I was on vacation because I
Yeah.
didn't want anyone, not that I am concerned that anyone on my Facebook, air quote, knock on wood, is going to break into my home, but just like not inviting it means that it removes the possibility of that happening. And it's just so terrifying to think, I talked about like, oh, I don't want to share things. I don't want people to know what's going on in my life. And she was like, I don't share things because I don't want people to like steal my kids. And I was like, oh shit, that's a completely viable, justifiable reason.
And that's why so many people, like especially like influencers or like celebrities, they all use like VPNs.
Yeah.
And this is where we talk about our sponsor. No, but
NordVPN. Click the link below.
But like they use VPNs because people will track.
Oh, yeah,
where
doxing
post
you
stuff
and
from.
shit?
Yeah, and they're like,
Absolutely.
okay, yeah, he lives there.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, so like, yeah, things you don't think about. The internet is a great place, but it also can be pretty terrifying.
Absolutely. I mean, and we're not even talking the dark web.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get on it. I know that you have to download a VPN and it like accesses some sort of secret database where you can buy guns and drugs and children and cabinets that come with a kid in it.
That's Wayfair.
Oh yeah, right. I wasn't not the dark web. That's Wayfair.
That's Wayfair.
But yeah, I mean, dude, like, isn't that crazy that there's like an alternate internet out there where like the bad stuff
it's the
is
upside down.
Dude, that's insane.
Right?
You could buy unicorns on the upside down. Full circle, baby. Let's go. You could buy a unicorn on the dark web.
Yeah, we got Safari up here. It's upside down down there. You could buy a unicorn on the upside down.
Yeah,
You
I
buy
bet
children.
you could. I bet you could.
It's wild.
Yeah, dude. And
Wild.
like I have never been onto the dark web and I don't think I ever want to experience it because
I'm never
I've
gonna-
seen enough stuff on Reddit and E-Bombs World and yeah, no, dude, like
Yeah.
it's wild.
That's a park I'm never going to buy a season pass to. No thanks.
Not even a one day
Good.
not even a one day
day
ticket.
pass. I'm good.
Don't want to visit, no parking pass. I don't want to be there.
Don't.
That's how you wake up in a bathtub of ice and one of your kidneys is missing.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. That's exactly how that happens.
Did you get paid though is the real question.
There's a
How
stack of
much
money
do you
on the-
think a kidney goes for on the black market?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, that's a thing like over and I'm gonna this is a rabbit hole. This is not a true statement, but like I've heard or read or seen things on the internet that allude to the alleged like black organ trans like trans what's the word? Transplant. Black market organ transplant network. Like you can like legitimately travel to other countries, give off an organ and they'll pay you. And it's like, okay, or they just start like capturing people and just like harvesting their shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever those countries are, not gonna
Yeah.
fly there.
We're trying to get our passports to. Aren't we going to what is it, Scotland next year?
Yeah.
We're not going to say the dates. We don't want people to
We're
know
not gonna
when.
say the dates.
We don't know. We don't want people to know when we're not going to be home.
But yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be something.
Are we excited about that? Like I know that
I'm
we've
excited
we've
about it.
mentioned or we as in like you and Taylor, me and Megan, we the four of us have mentioned of going there. Is that still like a thing?
Yeah.
Cool.
That is a thing.
Do we know what we're gonna do? I mean, we don't have to have it planned down, but like, are we gonna go see? Is like Stonehenge in Scotland? Because that would be
I
rad.
have no idea, but I want to find like some kind of tour guide so I can make sure that I see all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to like wing it and like pick the wrong thing like out of season. It's like,
Yep.
this is the coolest thing you can see here. You can only see it through October and January.
And we
So-
show up in May.
Yeah, we show up in May. I want to be like, okay, what can I do right now that's going to be super dope?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So this is us speaking to our wives through the podcasty about what we want from this trip. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cool stuff.
Yeah.
Tour guide.
I'm about it. I just want to see some cool stuff.
I just want to take some pictures.
Yeah. I don't want to sleep in a hostel, and I don't want to end up
Having organs harvested.
organs harvested. Yes.
That's not a lot to ask.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
that's
really not.
it's a basic general ask of a vacation.
Easy. Easy.
Let's see. Do I have any more topics on my note list? I think we've covered everything that I
think
like.
This was a solid one.
that
What
we
are we
had.
at? We're at like an hour and 14 minutes.
Safety.
Oh my goodness, this is
Oh.
so long.
I did have a note here about when we were talking about our follow-up appointments, how like strange and awkward it was for me to go provide my sample. I can save it,
Couldn't
or
you have done that at home though?
I could have, but the way that they requested it was that it needs to be brought in between a time frame window, and the sample needs to be fresh.
Just gonna sit in your car and just like
Yeah, so they were like, you need to do it, and you need to bring it to us within the hour.
oh, it's a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, right. It's a 35, 40-minute drive depending on traffic, and then you got to check in, and I got to check-ins and a save, and it's the whole thing. So I figured that I would just go and say, hey, I'm here to provide my sample for my appointment. And they were like, absolutely. Here's a restroom, or we'll give you a private restroom. They take you into the back, and they're like, okay, it's around the corner. So I'm like, oh, cool. It's a little private room. So like, I figured it would be like a doctor's office where there'd be like a chair and a bed and like, like a locked office. I was given a 1-stall bathroom with a locking door, obviously, attached to a public lobby. So you walk in, you shut the door and you lock it, and you can hear people outside like talking, and you hear them like
People out there just having the normal.
They're having every day, and you're supposed to like perform in there by yourself. It was just such a humbling, strange experience. I made it through it. It wasn't enjoyable for anybody, and I'm sorry that y'all have to listen to this, but like it was just so awkward. Like I have to say, it was just so awkward. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna give me a room. I'll do my thing and I'll come back.
Maybe some candles, maybe some.
It doesn't have to be sensual, but like it just. I felt like I was feet away from a dude who was scrolling on Facebook, and I'm in the bathroom just going to town. Like, it was so strange. So, men who listen to the podcast.
Pumping it into a cup.
That's gross. That's just the phrasing on that phrasing. So men who are considering getting the vasectomy, it is a wonderful time. Just know that the follow-up
Pick
appointment
a doctor
is
close to home. That's
yeah,
what
it's a little strange to provide your sample at the doctor's office. It's not
can perform in public. Check.
it's not as graceful as you think it's gonna be at the moment, and it's just humbling, and it was just made me giggle. I like put my AirPods in on noise canceling mode and just kind of like had to do my thing. It was just strange.
Watching yourself with no sound.
Oh god! You're like looking in the mirror and just
you can't even. You don't even hear that. It's just like
that's right. 'Cause you have your headphones in. You make eye contact with yourself in the mirror, and you're like, "This is weird. I'm out. I quit."
trying to pump yourself up. You can't even hear yourself. But the dude out in the waiting room's like, "What's this guy doing?"
He hears your
doing
belt
well.
like clanging together, and like your pants are ruffling. He's like, "What is this guy doing?"
Yeah, you're sitting there, and it just sounds like this. Nothing, right? This guy just hears, "You're a fucking champion. You can do this."
Words of affirmation.
That's all. And this guy's just sitting there like,
and then you come out of the bathroom, and he's like, "What the fuck was going on in there?"
and you're just like, "Here you go. There's my
Don't-
sample.
Wash
See
your
ya.
hands. Hey, bud, high five.
You're up next." And he's like,
Yeah, it was just it was a very humbling experience. It was so strange. I say that one because I don't want you to have to go through the awkwardness that I went through, but I also just wanted to tell that very funny story
"Do it in the car on the way there." Apparently.
while driving down 211.
You know I'm gonna go to jam with my knees. I got it.
Stop.
If I can eat a quarter pounder and fries,
A 2B with bacon.
yeah, can I get a 2B with bacon?
Not
and,
chicken.
Yeah, and some extra napkins. I'm gonna need it.
Can I get a sauce cup? 218.
It's a long one.
Have we gone like
No,
an
hour and 18 minutes.
Hey, that might be the longest episode we've done so far.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Midwest Boys podcast. I'll see you next time.
Stay sad, y'all.